The Cybertruck's disgusting. X fucking sucks. Grok. I hate that it's called Grok.
Yeah.
They like made it racist. And now the
I'm
CEO,
getting all horny for Grok because it's being like anti-Semitic and anti-black. I'm like, yeah, daddy.
The CEO resigned.
Yeah.
Focus on yourself. We don't want the America Party. We don't want the EV mandate. We don't want the techie. That's not why Trump won.
Also, you're an immigrant.
You're not even from here.
He's
Go
like
back to
he's like
Africa.
Zohran Mamdani. He's an African American.
Oh my God. I don't even care about Zohran Mamdani lying, checking black on his Columbia application.
No.
Which his dad was a professor at?
And he didn't even get in. It's like a done deal. If your dad is a professor at a school, you automatically get in.
Isn't that like
and he tried
guaranteed?
to say
That's how you went to Rutgers.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Literally, you went to Rutgers.
I mean, low key, I would have gotten into Rutgers anyway because it's not
sure.
Not because I'm so smart or such a good student, but because like the
acceptance rate's pretty high.
Yeah. The admission criteria is pretty mid. Anyone can get into Rutgers.
But he said he was black, which is, I don't care, whatever. But the amount of people being like, as a man, as an immigrant with parents from who's lived on different continents and is all these like ethnic identities, of course it's confusing. It's like, don't act like
he was not confused. He knew what he was doing. He was not confused.
For an 18-year-old with South Asian parents who was born in Uganda.
Yeah. Uganda, be kidding me.
Uganda be good. Uganda be fucking kidding me, bruh.
Yeah. So I guess all of this came out because of hacked documents that Chris Rufo then broke, which disclosed his SAT scores, which were 2140 out of 2400. I don't know what that means because I'm really aging myself, but back when I was...
You did the 16.
Yeah, I did the 1600, so I don't even know what this means. But
I did or 19, I forgot.
Yeah.
I did the 24.
Okay. How'd you do? Don't say it.
1950.
Out of
24 or 20, I think, yeah.
Okay, so...
Because I also took it in my junior year because I graduated high school early. I didn't really prep. I kind of was just trying to exit my situation. So I just did it. I didn't do that well.
Same.
But I'm verbally intelligent. I'm not a shape rotator or anything like that. And so he did kind of okay. He did okay. SAT scores. I think even mine were like 90 something percentile.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But I was like, remember being like, well, okay, I'm not that
smart.
I'm not that fucking dumb, I guess.
Like Fredo and the Godfather. So that's on the lower end of median scores for admitted students, but likely above the median score for black students. So what he's doing clearly, it's a strategic reason. He's checking the African American box to signal that he's black because that would make his SAT scores seem less mid so that he stands a higher chance of getting admitted to Columbia. But also then he gets to retain some plausible deniability and pretend that he could potentially be confused because he is literally an immigrant from Africa to America. But he also checked the Asian box as an Indian guy whose parents hail from the Gujarat region of the subcontinent. If he really wanted to telegraph his national identity, he would specify in the notes that he was Ugandan American.
I think he did write Uganda.
Yeah. But he's basically like double dipping and trying to say, I'm black and Asian. I'm Blasian.
Like Tiger Woods.
Yeah. And this was at a time when wokeness was on the rise. Columbia, like many elite universities, had a race-conscious affirmative action admissions program in place. This is from the New York Times, which is reporting this information in eminently neutral tone, acting like they weren't in on the game.
Wait, in on what game?
Like they were promoting all of this,
right?
anti-racist, Black Lives Matter, affirmative action shit from the jump. And now they're kind of like dialing it back. They're like platforming Curtis Yarvin.
A ton.
Yeah. Like
they
so
can't
much.
shut up about
They can't shut the fuck up about it. They're like, Elon Musk consulted Curtis Yarvin. Both of them declined to comment for the interview. It's like...
Who told you that?
Who leaked that? Curtis Yarvin is up in there.
Who told you guys that? The biggest attention whore. I love him to death. One of my favorite monarchists. Easily.
Yeah.
No, I don't have ill will towards them. I don't have ill will towards. I did vaguely, but every time I see him, I'm like, oh.
Toward Yarvi?
Yeah, I'm like,
I find him very like sweet and endearing. I like that he whips out the baby pics and wants to compare. I like that he kind of like talks at you. Yeah. Doesn't really ask questions.
Yeah.
He's a nice and he's charming guy.
I see why the New York Times can't get enough of him. Yeah. But we digress.
Yeah.
From what were we talking about?
Once you get to know a guy and realize that he's not like Machiavellian or malevolent, you kind of just like have to accept him for what he is. But the truth is, it really is like Kubrick-esque, because the truth is so much like bleaker and more mundane. Can I steal a cigaroni? Zohran said his answers on the college application were an attempt to represent his complex background given the limited choices before him, not to gain an upper hand in the admissions process. Bullshit. It's not that complicated.
You don't have to.
Eric Adams replied, the African-American identity is not a checkbox of convenience. It's a history, a struggle, and a lived experience. For someone to exploit that for personal gain is deeply offensive. So true, Kang. Actual African-Americans would never do that. They would never exploit their...
We have a black man.
Identity for personal gain. They would never start a movement...
to launder
money to buy real estate properties.
Honestly, respect.
Well, remember
honestly, I'm not even mad. I get
remember
it.
when
Ibram
X. Kendi, when Boston University gave him $40 million to start. We talked about this on the podcast.
Oh my god! I've been strangled too much.
I've been sexually choked out too hard.
Causes brain damage.
I'm like always like making excuses for my like lack of mental clarity and acuity. I'm like, I have mommy brain, long COVID, functional alcoholism. It's really because I've been choked out too hard too many times. But okay, I was talking to Wade at some Wigger barbecue, and as usual, he had like the best, most reasoned take on this, which was that Zohran checking the African American box was relatively low on his list of offenses.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't really care.
He saw it as kind of like youthful folly that we've all been guilty of.
I had a hard time with applying to colleges because I remember there was like a drop down list of like my parents' occupations.
Yeah.
And
like circus freak.
Yeah.
One circus freak.
Literally, I was like, this isn't Taylor. Like, I remember feeling really, he didn't feel this way because his dad taught there, obviously.
And his mom was like a world-renowned filmmaker.
But I was like, oh, I'm really alienated from this as an immigrant with unconventional upbringing. But I was like, this isn't, I'm not, my parents haven't donated money to this fucking school. I'm not going to get into like a good college. Yeah. Because I'm not that smart. But also like this isn't my game to play.
I mean, my dad point blank said, I am not paying for Cornell or Columbia. You go to Rutgers and you get comp sci degree and I write your PhD because they have woman quota. And the rest is history.
So useful folly. I'm completely willing to forgive. It doesn't matter.
And then there was that. But I don't know if I agree with him.
What offends me is
it is very charitable.
What offends me is people acting like this is indicative of some like confused
innocence, naivete.
Yeah.
It's not. He clearly knew what he was doing. His parents put him up to it. It was like very obvious. It's like that one time
what box
like,
should I check?
Indian,
what's your job?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, it's like that one time that Indian girl, I've told the story on the show before, the Indian girl from my high school lied on her college admissions and said her mom had cancer.
That's crazy.
Which is Indian word, bad karma.
Well, you also know how much like Indians and Asians piggybacked off of BLM to start like their own social justice movements that didn't really apply.
But Zohran
that didn't follow the same logic, and they just kind of like were like brown BIPOC.
Yes, they were willing to overlook the fact that the vast majority of hate crimes against Asians are committed by black teens.
Yeah, no, it was completely
throw their lot in with the black community, the oppressed and the marginalized, the voices of the unheard, because they thought they could get ahead. And Zohran's frankly brilliant for doing that, because by checking both black and Asian, he's signaling that he's high IQ and high responsibility, but at the same time oppressed and marginalized.
Well, they also leaked his like op-eds.
Oh yeah, his unearthed blog post from 2014 where he's like seething about not being able to express his racial identity in class, and also
he says
his lack of sexual access to white women.
They laugh at him when he pronounces the H in his name,
or like when he tries to correct them on the pronunciation of like a Daisy surname. This is where
that's so annoying. Russian people don't do that.
Yeah.
I've never been like, actually, it's like a Russian pronunciation.
Yeah.
I've never even, my name is Nekrasova.
Yeah.
And I could,
you're like Nekrasova.
I came to America, I said my name Nekrasova.
Kachian.
It's fucking phonetic. You guys can figure it out. Like, that's crazy.
The real pronunciation of my name is so ugly and disgusting. It sounds like a pubic hair. Hachian.
Nekrasova is beautiful. Daria Dmitrievna Nekrasova. That's my name.
It sounds so
and
aristocratic.
I said, let's call me Dasha Nekrasova.
Yeah. Or
all good. Like, just happy to be here.
Anna or Anna? I'm like, boy, you horny.
Who cares?
But I'm actually quite forgiving of his 2014 pro-brown, anti-white blog post. Right-wingers take this stuff at face value, and then they see this young person. I mean, like, Zohran would have been, what, like 22 or 23 at the time? They see him, like, expressing, like, pro-brown, anti-white sentiment, and they're like, they think that he's being totally sincere and dead serious. But part of it is, like, literally that, like, young people are divorced from the true motives underlying their ideological convictions, because also, let's face it, they just want to socially belong and be sexually desirable. So they come up with all these elaborate explanations for why they aren't that, and blame external factors such as like racism or misogyny, when the reality is that you're just like awkward and maladjusted and have a bad personality. And there's this point in the blog post where he's talking about how the white students would sigh whenever he tried to like pronounce some
how often are they
name
saying
correctly,
names
and that's just like not true, because you have to remember that all the white students in his cohort are sipping the woke Kool-Aid just as much as he is, and are probably walking on eggshells around guys like him. And if they're sighing, it's literally because he's being a performative little bitch, and his personality sucks. Or
ding ding,
possibly it's just all in his head.
Yeah. But like you said, with young people, you know, doesn't seem to apply in his case. Like sometimes they're rebelling against their parents.
Yeah.
They do feel convicted in their beliefs.
Yeah.
Because college is confusing, you know, it's a confusing time. And
I don't think like Zohran is...
Young people are allowed to have dumb and bad opinions.
Yeah, I don't think that he is what the right wing makes him out to be exactly. Like, I don't think that he's a vehemently, vitriolically anti-white ideologue. I think that it's rather stupid and mindless on his part. It's like a reflexive knee-jerk reaction.
Well, he's power hungry.
Yeah. He's not like sincerely.
That's the impression I get.
Yeah. The one troubling detail that I did glean from that New York Times article, the write-up about him like saying that he's African American and Asian on his college admissions, is that he remains the dual citizen of America and Uganda. I think that should be disqualifying when running for elected office in the United States. Like, you should not be a citizen of any other country. You should renounce your citizenship. That's crazy. Sure. Not allow. That's insane that would even be.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably so many who are citizens of Israel and
no, I know. I mean, like, you should just not be a dual citizen.
But when Ted Cruz went on Tucker, and he was, what's the Jewish lobbyist organization called?
The what?
The big Jewish lobby.
Oh, ADL?
No. There's like a specifically Israeli one. God, I'm so stupid. Anna. But he was like, what do they lobby for? And he was like, nothing. It's like, obviously they're lobbying for a different country. They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest, I guess, disappointment outright about the Trump administration, is it kind of like lays bare how owned we are.
Yeah.
But people are starting to notice, at least, and maybe it's better it's out there. I don't know how to, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my main beef with Zohran isn't that he's anti-Israel or anti-Semitic. It's that he's a retarded communist.
He's a foreign communist.
With dual citizenship, yeah. And it sucks because this is like the worst, like, rat king circle jerk ever, because all the Jews are out in full effect counter signaling him.
I know.
For being anti-Jewish, calling attention to their cause. Like, blatantly lying about the source of anti-Semitism.
They do be doing that.
We should just talk about